Everything that you know it intimately within yourself, as yourself. Your experience is that of knowingness or knowing. Right now you know this hearing, this vibration. You know this perception. Wherever you turn your attention, there is a knowingness of whatever you turn your attention upon. This knowingness is what you are. It's potential infinite field of knowing. That does not have in it any need to know. Therefore, it is completely free. It does not have in it someone who is seeking to know, or someone who feels that they don't know and that they need to know. Because knowingness is already knowing. It's made out of knowing. There isn't in it not knowing. Your experience is that of knowing. You know the stillness, you know the breath, you know the thought, you know, meaning you know that you know. this you and the knowing, or the you and the knowingness, are the same. The you means knowing, and knowing means you. Even the thought that says, I don't know, is known. Because if it's not known, there is no such thought. And if there is no such thought, you know there is no such thought, since as I am right now speaking of that thought, and you do not perceive that thought, then you can say, I know that thought is not there. This knowing is all-knowing, meaning there is nothing that it does not know, because that it does not know does not exist. God is all-knowing. This knowingness is what is referred to as God, or God consciousness, the divine light. It's an innate knowingness that is free of any burden, of any desire, and of any sense of lack or incompleteness. But when you overlook what you truly are, when you overlook your infinite nature of knowing, you separate yourself as a mental form. You go into a bubble, close your eyes, and you say, oh, I'm blind, it's dark. While you are keeping your eyes closed and you feel you are blind and everything is dark around you, you experience a sense of danger and fear. You perceive imaginary ghosts, imaginary obstacles, imaginary barriers to your being. And you imagine that you need to overcome these obstacles, and that it's quite urgent upon you. It's a matter of life and death for you to overcome these obstacles. the obstacle of being in the dark. You overlook that they are imaginary obstacles. And you experience a world out there. And you experience yourself as a personal doer, as a physical doer, as a mental doer that has to find the right strategy to become free of this darkness that you are unaware that you have imposed onto yourself. You experience a sense of poverty and destitution. You look around you and you perceive all these things that you don't have, that you need to have, that you must have, and that others have more than you. It seems urgent for you to seek and attain these goals. Failing to realize that there is nothing outside of you. There is nothing you're lacking. Failing to realize that these forms are mind forms. They are dream forms. That you imagine to be real. And because you imagine them to be real, you cannot avoid feeling the suffering and the hurt. You perceive yourself as a separate character in a social tribe. That you have to be part of that tribe, be accepted by that tribe. You do your best to please your partners, your family, your work companions, failing to realize that they're all mad. Because you are mad yourself, you fail to realize their madness. And so you are in the asylum of humanity. On the top floor, it's called Earth. You're on the top floor. By continuing to struggle with imaginary obstacles, you dig yourself deeper and deeper in the pit. But all that is your dream, because in deep sleep all of that is erased in a second. And when you fall in love, all of that is forgotten. You're drunk with love until you fall out of love. Imagine that you forget all your troubles and all your aches. It's possible. You have a moment of amnesia. You forget all your past and you forget your future. As if like there is a delete button. Imagine there is a delete button that deletes all these thoughts. And you find yourself just in pure presence. With baby eyes. Everything is washed out of your being. You're resting as the innocence of being, as the pure simplicity of being. You're nobody, you don't care about being somebody. Others are your brothers and sisters. You don't need anything from them. You don't need to hide anything from them. All is well. If you can imagine that and get a sense of that, you're getting a sense of your true nature. You're getting a sense of what you truly are. Before the script is written, before the script is resurrected from the stinking archives, mildewed archives of my stories that we rehash and rehash and repeat and repeat. What's the source of any seeking? There has to be a source. Where does it arise from? Where does a thought arise from? Where does a sensation arise from? Where does this perception arise from? You can't think about it because the mind will just spin and spin. But go directly to your being. Does it not arise out of you, as you, in you, to you? What is this you? Is it not formless being? The nothingness of everything? The emptiness, the wholeness of being? We are the divine magicians. We are the divine magician. And we fail to realize it. We look around for who's running the show, who's running the show. We say, God, please help me. When we say, God, please help me, we are playing games with God because we are telling God, hey, you're not helping me. Help me. So we're giving God a bad grade, He's not helping me. He's not doing too good. She's not doing too good. So we say, okay, wait, I'm going to light a candle. Maybe then you can see it. Maybe you are blind, but if I light a candle, then you can see it, and then you will help me. Then now we're accusing God of being blind, We say, God, help me. Do you need to say anything for God to know? You don't even need to say anything. God is all-knowing. You don't even need to think your thought, because God is thinking your thought. But God thinks no thoughts. God is all-knowingness. So how could you be forgotten by God? How could God forget you? Can you imagine that? It's blasphemy. You think that God had forgotten you and now God remembers you? That's blasphemy. How could God forget you and then remember you? How could God bring you all this misery and then come to save you? That would be chastising God, a cruel God, punishes you and then comes to save you. But yet you feel that you are punished, you feel you are suffering. And you say, oh God, why am I suffering? Why are you making me suffer? It's blasphemy, accusing God of being the torturer. God is the light of being, love. He doesn't know anything about your suffering. Your suffering is your illusion, is your moving away, looking away from truth, looking away from the wholeness that you are. It's not God's doing, it's your doing. You think when you say God, God doesn't hear you. You say, God, I hope you hear me. God hears you before even you speak, even before you utter a word. But do you really say God, or do you say, oh, I want a better job, I want my mother to be happy with me, I want my father, I want my sister, I want my daughter, I want my son, I want my boss, I want my car, I want my bank account. What is it that you say? I want my body, my feeling, my belly, my egg, my shoulder, my leg, my eyes, my thoughts, my house, my country, my religion, the President Trump, I want the Russian, the Americans, the Chinese, Afghanistan. What is it that you say? What is it that you look at? What is it that you say? Do you say God? In everything that you do, you say God. If you say potato, you say God, potato. If you say tomato, God, tomato. If you say my socks, God, socks. That's the way to say socks and tomatoes and potatoes. You have to say God. So you can cease to drift away. Drift away. Where are you drifting away? How can you drift away from what you are, from truth? It's all a bad dream. You give importance to the world, to things, to people, to relationships, to feelings, to... It's true, isn't it true? Don't you do that? Your neighbor, your banker, your God knows what it is. You give importance to these things. So you feel all these things, oh my God, oh my God. Why don't you take all of that and give it to God? Because what is it that you really What is it that you really cherish? If you are here, then it's clear you cherish truth, you cherish freedom, you cherish happiness, you cherish love, you cherish beauty, you cherish peace, you cherish God. All of that is God. God is love, God is beauty, God is infinity, God is freedom, God is truth. All these qualities that's what we refer to as God. That's what you truly cherish. You don't cherish having to figure out how to solve this problem and how to get them to love you. How can you be a better helper? How can you be more accepted? You're condemning yourself to be the separate self. You're condemning yourself to be lacking, needing, fearing, seeking, hoping, regretting. Listen, how lovely. Just being at peace, at ease. Undefined, infinite, transparent, beyond words. There's nothing you lack. Everything is yours. Everything is you. Everything is available to you. Everything is coming to you, flows to you, is you. You are the wholeness of being. You just need to stop defining yourself as a lacking entity. Invite the magic. Allow it. Allow the magic. Allow God's potential to flow through your being. Infinite potential. The words of the sages are not in vain. The words of the politicians are. The words of the attorneys and the words of the judges, all these words are in vain. But the words of the sages are not in vain. You know, in the world, the mind is like this game we played when we were kids, where we sat around in a circle, 10 or 15 people, and then we whispered a word in the ear of the person next to us, and they whispered it to the next, and whispered it to the next, whispered it to the next. We started by saying, oh, it's a beautiful day. It turned out, after 20 people, that there is a monster coming in to knocking on our door, you know. You remember this? That's how the mind is. We are all these 20 people. We are these 20 people in the mind. Just we're whispering all these things to ourselves, and oh my God, there are monsters coming to knocking on our door, and all these things are going to happen to us, and we're so fearful and concerned, and we feel really we must do something. We feel terrible. And then we pray to God to say, oh God, you have to come and help me out of that, And then we're imagining some God, we're imagining somebody, it's God that recognizes you as a separate person, a separate being, There is no separate being. There's only one being, divine being, beingness, knowingness, isness. There's only one reality, there's only one God, there's only one truth. Not the truth of your truth, my truth, and his truth, and God's truth. You have to open those eyes, the eyes of the heart. You have to open not the physical eyes that see, that perceive trees and men and women. You have to open the eyes of being. To perceive the glory of being, the vastness of being, the formless light of being. But what is it that perceives that? It's pure perception. Perception is pure perception. There isn't a separate perceiver to pure perception. Pure perception is perceiving. It's within itself. Perception means perceiving. Within perception is perceiving. It's perceiving and is perception. There isn't a perceiver. It's just pure perception, which is the I, what we refer to as the I, being, what we refer to as the I am, the pure beingness. There's no borders to it, no definition to it. Relax into being. Allow being, recognize being. Formless, infinite beingness. It lacks nothing. Seeks nothing. Experiences no problems. Isn't praying in order to get something. The I thought as a person, the me as a person, the I thought that arises. As it arises, it's in it, there is, I am missing, I am lacking, I am incomplete. It's a hidden within it is this sense of lack. It arises with such habit. The spinning wheels of me and I and oh, yesterday, will I, shall I, what do I need to do, when will I get that, how will I become that? All of these are just echoes. Hello, echoes. Where are they? Where are these thoughts? Where is this me, this I, this me who needs to fix something, accomplish something, be a better someone. Where is it? Invite it, come and sit with it. Say, okay, come, let's have a cup of tea. Invite the ghost over. Say, come over, we're having a ghost party. Come and sit down, show me, what's your suit?
It's almost Halloween.
It's always Halloween.